Back south from there, the Fort Lauderdale Airport, it is going to be shut down temporarily starting tomorrow morning.
And Local 10's Janine Stan with us live at the airport right now, where some travelers are just thankful they beat the cutoff point. Janine.
That's right, Calvin, Lori, and as you said, it's going to be closed tomorrow morning, start at 10:30 a.m. And so tonight we've actually seen a couple of planes leave, and we've actually seen some people arrive, some people arriving here just in the nick of time. I want to take you to video from inside the airport that we shot just a short time ago. Not a whole lot of people inside. It's usually a little bit quiet this time of night anyway, but certainly not very many people leaving the airport. But we did talk to people who are arriving. We talked to one man who said he wasn't exactly sure when he was going to be able to come back home to Fort Lauderdale, but he made his flight and he is really glad that he did. Take a listen.
I live in Fort Lauderdale, actually Pompano Beach, and I'm working in Seattle. I've been working there since March, but I was waiting for the last minute to get out here to be able to shutter everything up because we heard the storm was coming.
I came back early because my wife is here by herself and I wanted to make sure everything was buttoned down for tomorrow's storm.
And so those guys that we talked to who arrived, they have some work to do tomorrow, but they don't have a lot of time to do it. As you know, Betty and Max are telling us the time is now really to finish those hurricane preparations. If you do have a flight out tomorrow, you may want to call your airline, because certainly if it's out tomorrow morning, unless it's a really, really early flight, there's a good chance that you may not be able to. You might have to change it. So of course the advice from the folks here at Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International is to call your airline. And of course we're going to be in touch with them tomorrow, because they're going to be monitoring the forecast to figure out when they can open this airport back up. But again, for now, it's going to be closed tomorrow morning starting at 10:30 a.m. Calvin, Lori, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Janine, you've lived here for a while. You've been on air for a long time. Have you, or do you recall anything like this happening at Fort Lauderdale-Hollywood International Airport in a while?
Oh, sure. Airports will make those decisions leading up to when the winds start whipping, and they have to make a decision, of course, with enough time to give everybody enough time to prepare. So I think it's not unusual for airports to decide to shut down, and of course it's not unusual for, perhaps buses, county buses, city buses to decide they're going to suspend service. So you just heard an airplane take off there. An airplane is leaving here from the airport now. Yeah, and so some of the lucky ones are able to get out if they can now. But yeah, certainly tomorrow morning, if you have a flight out, you want to check with your airline.
And Janine, possibly Orlando is the way to go. As far as we know, there have been no changes in operations there. So if you really have to get out, you could make that 3 or 4 hour drive to Orlando and try to get a flight.
You could certainly try, and I don't know what the situation up in Orlando is, but you could certainly try. You could certainly try just driving up the turnpike. Yeah, if you want to have a flight out from Orlando. There are all sorts of creative ways that people can go if they want to get out of here.
That's right. Not unusual for airports to shut down in anticipation of a hurricane, but certainly unusual to see that place so busy become a ghost town. Janine Stan live for us in Fort Lauderdale. Thanks a lot.